Welcome back to the Babble Boys podcast. Joined as always with Jeff. Jeff, how we doing?
It's another glorious day, but it's Friday.
Yes, it is. So last night, Thursday night showdown. How did you feel to have politics shoved in your face all night while you're watching football?
Oh man, I love football. I absolutely love it. I love DraftKings. I love everything about football. It's my escape from reality. And if you watched the game, you heard the boos. If you were on social media, you saw the criticism. People are sick and tired of it being shoved down their throat. The wokeness, man, it's everywhere.
Yeah, well, go woke, go broke, as they say. We have a couple articles here to talk about how the ratings have dropped since last year's opening. Got an article here from the Deadline. So, NFL season kickoff ratings dropped from 2019 opener as Kansas City thrashed Houston at COVID-19 socially distanced stadium. With the coronavirus pandemic still raging across America, this year's NFL season opener was as different as night and day in many ways from the 100th season kickoff in 2019. For one thing, as reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs pummeled the Houston Texans 34-20. The ratings were down a lot. In early numbers, the primetime NBC game scored a 5.2 among adults 18 to 49 and 16.4 million viewers between 8 and 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, those numbers for the 8:25 to 11:30 p.m. game itself will certainly be adjusted upward later, but right now, that's a 16.1% drop over the spectacle of the September 5th, 2019 season opener among the advertiser-rich demographic. In America and the NFL still adjusting to the new normal of live sports in the era of COVID-19, last night's Kansas City victory also fell 16.1% in total sets of eyeballs from last year's fast affiliate results. But remember, those numbers will change in one form or another later today. So last night, it was quite the spectacle, I'd say.
Yeah.
I was expecting, some kind of social justice to be shoved in my face. But, I guess it could have been worse. I thought it was kind of ironic to see the national anthem with the woman singing the national anthem with George Floyd on her T-shirt.
Yeah.
That seemed honestly ridiculous. And George Floyd was the subject of police brutality. You can't really argue that. But the guy's he's a lifelong career criminal. He's been in and out of jail his entire life, and you're going to wear him on your T-shirt, glorifying the man. To me, I mean, that's I don't know how to even explain that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like when you wear that, I mean, do we just disregard his victims, like the woman that he stuck a gun into her gut? I mean, them people don't want to see him. I mean,
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Okay, so imagine you and your pregnant wife are at home. A man comes in, puts a gun to your wife's stomach, hits her a couple times in the stomach, robs your home, dies a couple years later, and then you're watching football and he's on somebody's fucking T-shirt. How
yeah.
would you feel about
Oh,
that?
like they just don't think straight. I mean, like, he's not a martyr. That's not the person you want as a martyr to your cause, man. But it's really significant, though. I mean, the numbers are new. They're not going to be accurate right now. But a 16.1% drop when everybody's home is significant.
Yes.
People are tired of the shit.
Oh, for sure. And, like we talked about recently, a lot of people weren't even really that excited
No.
for the football season. And me being one of them, it kind of crept up on me. And I was like, ugh, obviously I'll play fantasy, play DFS. Speaking of DFS, stay tuned. We're going to be dropping some DFS videos on our picks later tomorrow and Sunday. But I'm just, I'm not that excited.
No, and this is how it's going to be every single game. I mean, we had Chris Collinsworth on the television breaking down policy.
Yeah.
That's the last person I want to hear break down policy. I don't even like when he breaks down the game,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like sitting here, they're like, oh, Deshaun Watson's about to throw. And, we have these bills that are being introduced by Congress, but we're still a long way. Like, shut your stupid ass up. Let's watch football.
I agree. So we have another, I don't know. So it was when they met in the middle of the field and they all joined arms, you heard booing, right?
Boo. Yeah,
Booing, a whole
loud.
bunch of boos. And then you heard as soon as they kind of like broke arms, you just heard loud cheers, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it had to be like you said, an inserted track. It
Well,
had to be.
they're allowed to pump in noise now.
Yeah.
So so you have 15,000 fans yelling boo or however many, and then you have this obnoxiously loud cheering that's being pumped in, like they're like disenfranchised from what people actually are feeling.
Yeah. So let's play this video here.
Equality in our country.
It's a mixed reaction.
So
The minute she started
Look, people are not necessarily against it, okay? But they're against it being in every single thing that they consume. Like it's
mhm.
just shoved down your throat constantly. That's what people are sick of.
No, I agree completely. And so, as this guy says, Kansas City Chiefs fans appearing to boo the moment of unity with the Texans prior to the game starting. People hate politics ruining sports. And as you said, people go to sports to escape
Yeah.
from life's issues, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like old Roman times. You got to have your bread and your circuses. I mean this is our circus. This is where we go. We have a good time. People drink some beer, eat some good food, watch our favorite football team slug it out. That's American thing. We love it. We do not love your wokeness jammed down our throat.
Hmm. So, in a reply to that tweet, Kenny King Jr. tweeted that the fans were classless trash. So Josh Hawley tweets back, classless trash. The left showing their usual contempt for middle America. Missouri has the best fans in the country. Don't blame them for being tired of NFL/corporate woke politics jammed down their throats.
Can't
And
say it any
so,
better.
exactly. And so, former Democratic Missouri Secretary of State Jason Kander poked some fun at Hawley. A half hour later, Josh Hawley in favor of booing at Patrick Mahomes. And then
Where
we
did
go
he say
down.
that? Where did he say he was in favor of booing?
Uh, he didn't say it, but he's just making that assumption that because he isn't 100% for what they're doing, then he's against it, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you don't toe the line, you're against it automatically.
Exactly.
What a dishonest thing to say.
And then here we go, the Kansas City mayor. We're a good city of good people. I heard boos too. But we also have hundreds of thousands more around here who respect the message the players are sharing, who respect the rights of our players and people to voice a strong message, and who are working to make us better each day. It would just seem that these people, I don't know how they're so out of touch with the regular person, but dude, I can't even I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I mean, if the mayor went just down the city, right? Just walk the streets of Kansas City and asked random people, how do you feel about kneeling the national anthem, or how do you feel about protesting the national anthem? What do you think the average response would be?
I think it's going to be pretty split down the middle. I mean, even maybe not even split down the middle. I think if you even made that question a little bit more broad and said, "How do you feel about social justice being shoved down your throat during every football game that you watch?" I'm pretty sure the majority of people are going to be like, "Look, I'm tired of it." I even have African American friends who are like, "We're overstating our existence right now." Like
Yeah.
you know, we get it. It's great, but this is just too much, man.
Yeah, it is. it is getting a bit out of hand, and everyone's free to express their opinions, right? I mean, that's what the Constitution allows us. But at the same time, if you're going to shove this in my face, you're going to kneel, you're going to protest the national anthem, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and that's fine and all, but I haven't seen any like real solutions provided by any of these people.
No, me neither. I mean, and I mean, you can hit the typical narrative. I mean, these are not oppressed people because they're millionaires and all that, and it's all true. But like, just like with the politics in football, I saw a Joe Biden commercial, and what he was doing was promising a bunch of stuff that he doesn't have the power to grant. It's called the presidential promise. Okay. He can tell you that he wants to do all these things, but that's not within the executive branch's power structure. And there was no Trump commercial. I'm sure there should have been, but so I mean, they're kind of playing sides right now. And then you had that commercial to start the game, and it was about equality and Black Lives Matter. But if you pay attention to it, there's no representation of a ton of other races in there. There's no Asian people in that whole entire commercial.
Yeah, agreed. And speaking of that Biden commercial, I completely forgot about that. I watched that, and I was just, it was a pretty good Biden commercial. I mean, to the average person, I thought it ripped Trump pretty good and put Biden up there. But at the same time, if you watch it, all they have on the guy is COVID-19, which realistically, did he handle it well? Did he handle it wrong? I don't know exactly what he could have done to do any better, but that's really all they have. And I was waiting for someone to mention Biden in that entire segment. And I guarantee you, the closer we get to the election, you're going to see people telling you to vote for Joe Biden.
Absolutely. And like one of the things he was like, with me as your president, I'm going to give you better health care. You do not have that power. Like,
yeah. And Biden's against the progressive is against what the progressives want in terms of healthcare.
Absolutely.
Biden is an Obamacare representative. I mean, that's his floor. That's what he's going to promote.
Yeah, and I mean, there a ton of other things that he's promising that he doesn't have the power to do. I mean, guys, I mean, the presidential power is in the Constitution. Congress is the one who does everything that he mentioned. Okay, so I mean, just think critically about it. Like I say every episode, it seems like, I mean, because this is just it's almost too much anymore.
It's getting pretty crazy out there.
It's insane. It's insane.
So that's our first segment. Stay tuned. We're going to be dropping some DFS videos. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.